And it looks like the talks between Canada Post and the union have halted as of right now, which is really bad news if you're hoping for the strike to end early. It looks like it may go on a lot longer than we might have anticipated, especially considering it's the Christmas season. We thought everything would be wrapped up real nice by Black Friday, which would be tomorrow, but it looks like that is not going to be the case here. In fact, the talks have completely stopped, and it looks like they're just so far apart on what they want at the negotiating table that they basically both walked away, which is really bad signs. And reminder to you guys, the last time Canada Post struck, when they had their last strike, it lasted 31 days. So, we would have got off easy with 2 weeks, but nope, it's probably going to go at least another week at the very least. But it's just crazy to think that we're in the midst of it again, right during the busiest season, also during a really bad time for Canada, GDP-wise. Canada, the economy is just not doing good, and this is just adding fuel to the fire right now. Let's look at this article here by CBC. Now, mediation talks between Canada Post and union suspended. Canadian Union of Postal Workers, Crown Corporation have remained at the bargaining table until now. Yikes. Negotiations have broken down between Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers for the first time since the countrywide strike began. So it looks like they were talking for at least a week or so, and then it kind of completely got disbanded, which is not good news for anyone hoping that this strike would end soon. It looks like it's going to go on for the time being, and it could go on a lot longer than we anticipate, because the fact that they've stopped talking means that they both have to kind of come back to the table with a new offer or a new plan as to what they want. So they have to change the bargaining strategy here, because it looks like it's not working right now. The federally appointed special mediator decided to temporarily suspend talks between the two sides on Wednesday, Canada's Labour Minister announced in a statement posted on X. After several intensive days of negotiating, parties remain too far apart on critical issues for mediation to be successful at this time, Steve McKinnon wrote. So, basically, the demands of Canada Post must have exceeded what the unions were expecting, right? Like, they want them to start delivering on weekends. This was one thing that was brought up that is something that they're striking for. They obviously want a pay raise as well. So there's these two critical factors, and if they're not willing to budge on any of them, and I honestly do think that when it comes to working on weekends, as much as it does suck, I think because there's so many other companies that do deliver on weekends now, especially like Amazon, it feels like that's something that if they don't get to it now, they're going to have to get to it in the future, and they might as well start the process of working on weekends now. I know that maybe like they're talking about, hey, if we want to work on weekends, we want double time or something like that. And it's like, that's out of the question. No, it's just going to be normal working hours. You have to think about the amount of losses Canada Post had last year. I think it was like $311 million in losses. So they're not doing good as a company. All right, so let's take a look here. Speaking with reporters Wednesday afternoon, McKinnon said he was extremely frustrated that talks hadn't budged in over 8 days. Over 8 days, nothing has went in the right direction. That is crazy. These parties have had access to the best mediation services that is possible to have. Jeez. The break will allow both Canada Post and CUPW to rethink their positions and return to the bargaining table with renewed determination to get a deal done, he said. On November 15th, 55,000 Canada Post workers went on strike following a year of failed negotiations to reach the new collective agreement with the Crown Corporation. The labor dispute has brought the National Mail Service to complete standstill right before the busy holiday season. Now, I wouldn't even say that it's like before the holiday season. We're right in it right now. Like in Canada, pretty much the holiday season happens right after Halloween. So November 1st was kind of the start of the holiday season. It just kind of picks up until like the day before Christmas for all the last minute shoppers for Christmas Eve, right? So we're in the holiday season right now. It's just going to get busier and busier, and all those missed orders or missed parcels are going to keep adding up, and a lot of that revenue will go to other places like UPS, FedEx, Purolator, right? Or people will just buy directly on Amazon. It's kind of crazy. So the binding arbitration is not an option right now, McKinnon said, despite him using it earlier this month to end post-strikes. Binding arbitration enables a third party to come in and establish a collective agreement for both sides, effectively ending a strike or lockout. He said it's hard to see a situation where an arbitrator would be able to handle the issues at hand, since the two sides are so far apart. What I would say right now, and for the foreseeable future, if this agreement does not come together at the table, there will be no end to this labor conflict. Whew. Now, those are some heavy words to end that article on. I've been saying before, I've made a few update videos on Canada Post. It feels like I'm making more Canada Post videos than I am doing thrift videos or Goodwill bin videos, because I think this news is affecting a lot of people who ship stuff that they sell at Canada Post and online, right? And this is something that's been brewing for a while. Canada Post, I don't want to trash them too hard on this or anything like that. They want to fight for fair wages and all that, and that's great. But union jobs, so it's hard to get into a union, first of all. Very difficult. It's like winning the lottery, getting a union job, to be honest. And they don't have to go to college to get any of these skills, anything like that, and they're getting really good wages right off the get-go. They're getting benefits, they're union, so it's hard to actually get laid off. That's kind of the way it works with unions. So you can't, so unless you're doing something ridiculous, then yes, you can get laid off, but for the most part, it's not like a private sector job where they can just kind of restructure and reformat and kind of lay off a mass amount of people. It's not like that with union jobs. It's a lot more difficult as a company to kind of find the room to do that, or the legal room to do that. So when it comes to this strike, it looks like there is no foreseeable end to this, which I was hoping by Black Friday something would get resolved, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. The fact that they completely walked away from the bargaining table, to me, says that this strike is could be an indefinite strike, and it could end. Now, I don't want to say this because this is pretty heavy, but this could literally end the Canada Post, or it could get just bought up by another company, or something could happen here, because if this strike goes on for until Christmas or even after Christmas and it ruins the whole Christmas season, this could get really ugly real soon, and it looks like it might be going on for at least another week, probably even longer, to be honest. If I'm the pessimist in me, says that this is going to go on until next year. The optimist says that next week, but they're way off when I talk that way. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.